Old school tabletop gaming like Dungeons & Dragons takes a lot of work and coordination to get a game going. But Demeo takes many of its most enjoyable ideas, including strategic turn-based combat, deep character classes, and an extensive bestiary of goblins and ghouls, and juices them into a condensed RPG that's immediately engaging. The result is an infinitely replayable game that's easy to learn yet difficult to master, that feels just as good in VR as it does on any gaming PC. It all takes place on the simulated game board, with miniatures and tile-based topography that evokes the sense of playing a game within a game. In this place, convenience is key. Up to 4 players on any of Demeo's platforms can pop into the same session, whether they're old friends or strangers in quick play mode, or you can go it completely alone. Starting a campaign means delving into one of 5 visually diverse campaigns, each one made up of 3 floors and a boss fight apiece. It's a bit annoying that you can't save in the middle of a floor, but the good news is that it only takes roughly 30 minutes to 1 hour to complete each one, and the first 2 are usually on the quicker side, since all you need to do is find the key and make it to the locked door in one piece. Thanks to its intelligent monster AI that keeps you on your toes with plenty of status-altering spells, movement-deterring group attacks, and a smart use of choke points, it's much more of a tactical board game than a true RPG. The class system, randomized cards, and 3-sided die rolling may seem oversimplified, but the prime benefit is that you or anyone else can immediately drop into an ongoing session, pick up a character, and that's it. You can just play, without any knowledge of the rules, or the rules of similar games, and the rest is up to a mixture of skill, strategy, and fate. Things are kept nice and clean by the fact that each character gets 2 action points per round, excluding free actions. You know, like using a health potion.
That helped.
The initiative system is pretty straightforward. Monsters and players make their moves on alternating rounds, and you can comfortably view everyone's move order on your right wrist in VR. It also feels smooth to just pick up your character and plop it down wherever you want to move or attack, and the card deck system is stylishly represented by a literal deck held in your left hand. Demeo's monster encounters always feel challenging without immediately overwhelming you, and its tense turn-based combat tends to be unpredictable no matter which campaign you're playing in. Since basic attacks only do 3 damage, the balance often leans more in favor of the Dungeon Master's minions than your party, but considering each campaign only takes at most 3 hours from end to end, it's never really that big of a deal if you lose.
There goes your last champion.
Especially since you get to keep a little XP even if your party wipes. These satisfyingly asymmetric combat encounters feel like tug-of-war at their tensest moments, and you're never left completely out of options if you have a few odd cards.
I've summoned an element.
It's only when the odds are most stacked against your party that the rich interplay between classes gets to shine, and there's a level of nuance here that you don't often see in true blue RPGs. For instance, the Barbarian has a grappling hook that he can use once per round, allowing him to quickly propel himself to a distant tile, bring enemies closer, or capture an elemental trap to use as a projectile on his next turn. A party of 4 Barbarians can move rapidly in a group, barraging opponents of poison and fire attacks, then quickly move away. But playing with a party containing 1 speedy Barbarian, a sneaky Assassin, tanky Guardian, and 1 courage-inspiring Bard would be completely different.
Courage is what will save us.
Granted, the camera can be a bit finicky. This was especially the case outside of a VR headset, where important details are often blocked, but in VR you do get an impressive and natural amount of control. You can even zoom all the way into the board for an up-close look at the miniatures and detailed zones.
Can you withstand this?
Demeo is a delightful alternative to setting up the mechanically burdensome tabletop RPGs and board games to which it lovingly pays homage. It might not achieve the width or depth a pen-and-paper purist demands, but its lighter take on that same style of gameplay offers such enjoyably compact yet intelligently riveting sessions that, if you can get past its occasional bugs, Demeo is a great introductory game for anyone who's interested in getting a taste of what D&D or VR is all about. For more VR, check out our reviews of Horizon, Call of the Mountain, Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge Enhanced Edition, and of course the PlayStation VR 2 itself. And for everything else, stick with IGN.